up? Yo, Prince Sports here. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and all that other good stuff. Um, Finally, um, the guy that we all call the GOAT, for the most part, Michael Jeffrey Jordan, okay, Air Jordan, finally spoke out and talked on the situation of George Floyd. And he actually said something this time because I believe he was under a lot of pressure to say something because a lot of other people were talking about this, and this is a guy that chose to not say nothing, to hide. He should have said this earlier, but sometimes I guess it's better late than never. But he did make a statement. He did finally spoke up and said something. So, and I think it was long overdue. You know, he wrote a whole speech. To the extent was like I'm deeply saddened, truly pained. Feeling a lot of anger, and we had enough, that type of stuff. So Michael Jordan finally, I guess, getting on board with the right track and actually speaking up and saying something. Because you can't just keep going in this world without saying stuff, man. Especially when you a person of stature like Michael Jordan. I mean, this guy went around not saying nothing for a hot minute, and he finally said something. You know, you got guys, all these guys, Jason Whitlock, AKA Shitlock, you know, want to play the oh, nothing's wrong type of attitude. No, something is wrong, and it's good that somebody actually finally, another athlete finally stood up. Now, LeBron James been on this, but Michael Jordan is joining the fray. He's actually speaking up about it, which is very, very good to hear. You had a lot of people talking about, Jordan's a sellout. He's this, he's that. I even made a video talking about Mike, and that Mike should say something, to this, and a lot of people are I guess getting at him. I know he felt pressure, and now you could sit there and say he's just saying this out of pressure or to be politically correct, because Jordan doesn't normally get on these type of situations or even talk about these type of situations. But the fact that he actually said something, you're gonna have to give him credit. You gotta give him props, um, and he wrote a whole statement, about George Floyd's situation and how this country is, um, and what he actually felt. So I'm, as a guy that watched Jordan play for years, okay, basically growed up on Mike. I started watching basketball in the 80s, and he did a lot of questionable things just to please conservatives. But this is finally the first time he actually stood out and said something that's worth talking about in terms of, just showing that he has a heart and care about people in his community. And this is a good thing to see Mike actually do something like this. I'm pretty sure it's going to be all over the ESPN, all over Fox News, that Michael actually spoke out and said something. He says, I don't have answers, but our collective voices show strength and inability to be divided by others. We must listen to each other, show compassion and empathy, and never turn our backs on senseless brutality. We need to continue peaceful actions against injustice and demand accountability. Our voice needs to be put pressure on the leaders to change our laws, and we need to use our vote to create a systematic change. Every one of us to be part of the solution. We must work together to ensure justice for all. My heart goes out to George Floyd's family and countless others whose lives had been taken in brutality and senseless actions, basically. Acts throughout racism and injustice. That's the words of Mike. So, got to give credit where credit due. So, Mike, it's about time you stood up and said something, because people in urban communities was calling you out, and they've been doing this for years. It's about time you actually stood up and say something. Now, we can't disrespect a man or call him things when he actually sees the light and he decides to, hey, jump on Frey and say, hey, you know what? Enough is enough. And that's what Mike doing. At least that's what the sense that you get that he's doing. So shout out to Mike. And it's about damn time, Mike. Peace.